Well, God bless you, everybody. This is another video. Here we go. Many atheists will claim, a lot of them haven't read the Bible, but that's okay. I'm just going to say that they'll claim that the Bible is full of fairy tales and things that just aren't true. The Bible mentions unicorns, satyrs, which, dragons, and everything else. So the Bible is completely full of fairy tales and just folklore galore. All right. And here's one of those. We're just going to take one today, and we're going to just look at it and just see who's the fool. Are we the fools? Have we been fooled? Is the Bible true? Is there any evidence of it being true? All right, let's take a look. This is Daniel 4, and this is a dream of Nebuchadnezzar, where he talks about a great, huge tree that reaches into heaven. And this is the vision in his head. And he says, in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was so great. I saw a tree, it was strong. The height reached into heaven. I don't know how high this is, but obviously very high. All right. The sight thereof was to the end of all the earth. Sounds very, very, very dramatic. The leaves were fair, the fruit there much, and it goes on. Okay, I'm not getting into the interpretation of the dream or what this dream's about. There's a lot of theories. There's a lot of stuff, but we're going to examine some verses. Let's just do that very slowly. Okay. And there's an angel that comes down and says, "Hone down the tree, cut off its branches, shake off its leaves, scatter its fruit." So we have this huge tree. Leave the stump. All right. Leave the stump. That's key. All right, leave the stump of his roots in the earth. Also talks about it in a masculine form, which is weird. Even with a band of iron and brass. So we have this great, huge tree. What on earth he's talking? Now, obviously, it's a dream. All right, so we can go from there and see. But there's other evidence of people or angels referred to as trees in the Bible. Like it's their representation. Let's take a look. Now this is Ezekiel 31. And the Lord God comes to Ezekiel and says, this is how he addresses him: "Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his people, who art like you, or who art thou like in thy greatness?" Who are you like in your greatness? And he says he was a cedar in Lebanon, fair branches with shadowing shroud and high stature, and his top was among the thick burrows. His waters made him great. Okay, her little rivers unto all the trees in the field. Height was exalted above all other trees in the field, and his burrows were multiplied, and his branches became long, and multitude of waters shot forth. Thus he was fair in his greatness, in length of his branches, for his root was by the great waters. Okay? We have again this high tree. Thou hast lifted up thyself in height, and hast made shot up top among his thick burrows, and his heart is lifted up in his height. Well, we know Eve ate from a tree, okay? And what is going on with this tree? I'm going to throw a couple other verses at you here. Because it's obvious, well, it's not obvious, but it's interesting that Jesus grew up as a carpenter. What does a carpenter do? It makes beautiful things out of dead trees. And if we see a reference here, all right, another one. "And I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give height. And the bright lights of heaven I will make dark over thee, and set darkness upon the land, says the Lord." Okay, so what do we have going on with these trees? Not only trees, but cut down trees. Let's take a couple and take a look. A couple verses on cut down trees. Just a quick excerpt from another study here. All right, so there's Daniel 4 again. Okay, here's Isaiah 10. Look what this says: "Behold, the Lord of hosts, shall lop the burrow with terror, and the high ones of stature shall be hewn down, and the haughty shall be humbled. High ones of stature, okay. Not necessarily trees mentioned here, but interesting. Hewn the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth. Again, Daniel 4:22. Here's another one, Ezekiel. His height was exalted above all trees in the field, and his rows were multiplied, his branches became long, of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. Now, what I want you to look at, I'm not going to give every verse, there's a bunch in Jeremiah, or there's a few in Jeremiah, and Mark talks about seeing a guy that's healed in the well, and he goes and sees men as trees. So I'm not going to give you all that connection right now. It goes back to the Garden of Eden and everything else. But what I want you to understand is the Bible, by our elite, by those in control, by those in the government, by those who have established influence over humanity, have diminished the truth in the Bible. Okay? And this is how they're going to do it. And this is how they've done it. I'm going to show you a picture here of Devil's Tower. Okay? Now, pull it up here. This is Devil's Tower on Wikipedia. We just talked about trees being cut down. The Bible talked about giant trees being cut down and leaving the stump in the ground. What does this look like to you? Does this look like, let me actually do something here. Let me pull up Devil's Tower, just pictures. Okay. So the Bible just spilled truth out for you. All right. If the Bible's claim to be 100% true is accurate, all right, that giant trees were on the earth and cut down, but the stumps were left in the earth. That's what we just read, right? What does this look like to you? What does that look like to you? My dog's scratching in the background. So what does this look like? All right. What does Wikipedia say? Devil's Tower, a megalithic butte composed of indigenous rock. Okay. It says it's formed by this, where's it at? I have it pulled up here. Megalith, right here. It's formed by the pressure of the magma is high enough that the overlying strata are forced upward, giving the I can't say that word, or dome, a mushroom-like form, and is generally planar based. So what they're saying is that it gets so hot and crazy under here that their channel opens up and this rock pushes forward with a planular, is that correct? Planular base? And it comes up with this whole theory, okay, right here. But let me ask you this. Does this look like lava to you? Was pushed up out of the ground and came up and then just had a flat top? It doesn't to me. Let's look at tree cells. These are tree cells. Nice, neat columns stacked up on one another, right? Pretty cool. Here we go here. Nice, neat, stacked up. Got the nucleus there in the middle. Everything's hunky-dory, all right? Plant cells, tree cells. Now, what is this? What are these rows here? Could these be giant tree cells? Wow, they're even separated, like we saw here. Again, I'm not here to give you all the answers on all this. These are just quick videos for you to look. These definitely look like giant tree cells to me, without a doubt, after looking at the other ones. They're even separated, almost exactly equally. Again, Devil's Tower. What I'll show you here real quick on this study where it went. I'm sorry, I'm a little disorganized. Is other ones across the world that you can look at. Again, I'm just trying to show you that the Bible is 100% true. And just because something sounds stupid and doesn't seem to be in existence doesn't necessarily make it so. We have been fooled. Big time. Why? Because if the Bible's real, then they can have no control over us. All right, these are other ones. That looks like a tree stump to me. Amazing. This was naturally made, is what they're saying, by lava being pushed up from beneath the Earth's surface. They're lying. These are giant tree cells. This is what lava looks like. Looks nothing like that. Equally proportioned and exact. Tree cells. Again, here's a couple other references. Enter the Stars talks about this, and this was the original link, but I don't have it anymore. But anyway, just for you to think, guys. That's all this is for. Just for you to think. God bless you all. Call upon the name of the Lord, and thou shalt be saved. They have lied to us because if the Bible is real, then they can't exert anything over us. We've been fooled. But the truth is out there. God bless. Take care.